everybody, and welcome to Blood Bowl. I'm Complacent Badger.
I'm Sir Kilo.
And we are watching Malal's Mashers versus Re-AWOOOOken.
Oh, are we now?
Yeah, that's a close game. Look at that, 30 team value.
I am really excited about that. The differences in team value have been occasionally so dramatic that it's almost not the same as playing that team.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. The big thing, though, I look at it is there have been teams that are able to keep their team value up as they're going. Corsairs, the non-pyro elites. These are two teams that have been able to really keep up their team value with everybody else, and it hasn't been so much of an impact.
Yeah, I mean that's really amazing. A testament to some good strategies that get touchdowns, which is the most effective way of getting those star player points and leveling up a team.
Yep, and it's one of the few ones that you have actual control over. Injuries are so wishy-washy on whether you're going to get them. But touchdowns and passes to get touchdowns generally, those are the easiest ways to get it on your terms.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that throw in the rain?
Really unnecessary, but I don't know if he had too many more actions to do, but he also doesn't have the ball right now. So
because sometimes picking up the ball's enough, right?
Yeah, and I hate to already be so down, but I can see where this is going, where I think we're having that you ever played poker, but
I have.
but you play with everybody and you don't have money involved?
Yes.
And the guy who calls every single time?
Yeah.
No matter what, because well, we're not losing money, right?
Yeah.
And this is just me speculating, and please don't take offense, but I really think coach of the Necromantic team has adopted that mentality within the last few games, where it's just like, fuck it, I can't do much worse, right?
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate mentality, because these teams are really fun to play. I mean, and just that's part of Blood Bowl, like losing and like shitty things happening are frustrating, but that's like part of the game. It's that that's where that pucker factor comes in, where you're like, man, there are legit consequences to making a mistake.
Yep, and the big deal is like you can't get better unless you make educated choices.
Yep, and that's globally just in Blood Bowl itself, whether it's with this team or with your next team. Understanding the basic mechanics and then applying the changes to the basic mechanics that the skills do is a big deal.
3 blocks and couldn't get that ghoul down.
That's
I don't know if Malal's Masters just didn't see that the movement allowance allowed for that ghoul to just get a straight 1-die on that runner. But yeah, that definitely happened, and then 3 blocks, that dodge and block together really saved his bacon.
Yeah.
And now he's got pretty open to go this way and an open lane. I mean, granted, he doesn't have enough movement allowance to go all the way there, but okay, maybe he's thinking.
You're gonna want to go further than that. There you go.
I think he was trying to decide if he wanted to go for the wing or if he wanted to go down the middle, and he made a good choice where less players were there. So we're seeing a lot of players dropping themselves.
That's tough.
Whether it's bad rolls or whatnot, I can't really keep track of, but it's a lot of players dropping themselves on both sides.
And that's, you see some of that based on the difference in agility or the difference in strength, but, by focusing on what... Yeah.
That was a really good move, opening that Chaos Warrior, and then just having it, unfortunately, where he had to burn a reroll and then ended up getting a push. So we're looking at 1 out of 3 and 0 out of 3 already.
It's going to be a deciding factor, I think.
Yeah, this is a
Can't.
really frustrating player with that blodge, especially to an undecked team where basically nobody has any skills.
Right.
Like that's
And that's just, you're just going to have to throw as many dice at him as you can.
yeah, because
Because
it's
eventually you'll
yeah.
get it.
Oh, wow,
Look at that.
that was
666.
and then failed to go for it.
That's my favorite part. That sucks a lot.
That really does. After making all those crazy dodges that really, by odds, shouldn't have happened, he fails to go for it. But I guess that's how the dice even out.
Right? How's that campfire so blazing right now in the rain?
It's a really good campfire.
Oh. Wow. Good.
So covering the ball, doing a really good job right there. I think Malal's Master's playing pretty well overall. Maybe just leaving that ball carrier open back there on the one side instead of just putting the guy adjacent in the middle, making it more difficult to be hit. And the only glaring mistake I think so far.
Right. And that's one of those things where you go, in retrospect, I can, 100% see that, but like, when you see that in...
Yeah, he was trying to stick to the normal cage, but he didn't have that last piece, so the normal cage wasn't going to work.
Right.
So checking blitzes, checking blitzes, checking blitzes. Does that one work? Does that one work? Does that one work? Putting himself down with the double both down, and actually stunning him.
That's the worst.
I do have a Chaos Warrior that is capable of getting a touchdown right now. Just get that guy.
Almost as if you advertise that as a valid strategy. That guy just happened to be back there by accident.
Pickup fail.
Nobody got hands.
Opting to go for the blitz instead of bringing somebody to help out. I don't know if there was another blitz opportunity, but oof, Chaos Warrior badly hurt, gone for the game. That's going to be a big deal.
That strength that carrier carries, that player carries into the game is huge. That carrier just let it carry on the carrier.
So Werewolf just ignoring rain and people and just like, I'm gonna pick up this ball.
Had what? Yeah.
Failed a doge.
Yeah. Got exactly what he needed, huh?
So double push.
Yeah, that's the goal with that is to push him into unfriendly arms.
Yeah.
Just train him.
Oh, I think that was a pass in the rain with people, and it didn't work. Chaos Warrior could still get the touchdown.
Do it, man. Let's do it. Let's get crazy.
Gotta get this guy out of the way.
Let's get crazy.
Is it going to be Chaos Warrior to Chaos Warrior action? Do it. Oh my god, move. It's happening. Oh! No.
Good job seeing that play, man.
That was really good.
Fun.
Yeah, Mal's Master's playing a really good game. Re-AWOOOOken just getting roles where they need to be to just apply crazy plays and pressure.
Yeah.
That's a crazy line.
This reminds me of it was like Action Jackson the first season he was playing his Crazy Eights, where he'd get a little bit frustrated and just start doing silly things.
Yeah, and you know what? That's funny that you mention it. Now that you say that, that fits right in line. The coach of the Necromantic team is playing a lot like the early stages of Action Jackson.
Yep.
Where just like has a decent team, but just doesn't know where to aim it.
Yep, that makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm. But now you see how.
But then
Action
you look
played.
at it and say, yeah.
The conga line.
Yeah, watch this, man. This is pretty. This is nostalgic for me. And then you look at it, where he as a coach and where he and his team are right now. I mean, it's just really, really good. And him getting his big guy made him change his entire strategy.
Mm-hmm. A lot of his movements and his player positioning revolves around that flesh golem now. And where he starts his turns at is around those flesh golems.
Right?
Is that my 2 die? Is that my 2 die? Is that my 2 die?
There's got to be one. Watch that timer, watch that timer.
It's a lot of commitment. Might be keeping that ghoul back as a safety.
That would be a good strategy.
That's a lot of dudes on this one line.
Right. 0-0 still, so it's anybody's game.
Going for the weak side.
That's often a better strategy than going for the strong side.
Agreed. See, I don't always mention things that are bad.
Horns. Well, I mean, just what a really good tool for a team.
Oh yeah, Horns is amazing. Nice little pocket right here on the weak side. Doesn't look like anybody's going to mess with that ball carrier. I mean, I'm probably going to be wrong real fast, but
just backflips.
Yeah.
It'll look like a gymnastics routine, just a floor routine.
That's the guy you wanted to go for.
I sense some sarcasm.
It was the only guy that was like almost like the least pertinent guy to the play. But we fucking got him, guys.
Got him.
But
got him good.
Maybe he's playing the long game where he puts the werewolf in the back.
Let's do it.
We'll see if that werewolf makes the difference. He does have block. And that is some scary pressure on that ball carrier right now. Oh yeah.
Did I see a blitz threat from the ball carrier?
Yeah. I think he might do that. Ooh. Yeah, not the guy I would have gone for, man. I would have
Stand firm.
I would have pulled this probably pulled this beastman over here to eat up that assist and gone through the werewolf. Yeah, don't go for
that makes better sense.
Don't go for these flesh golems, man. I mean, they don't have the skills to do anything like because even if you did put him down, you can't push him. So it doesn't open the lane.
Yeah, that stand firm is the deciding factor on that for me.
Yeah.
On top of being strength 4, so you went even on strength.
He had an assist, but
yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. A lot of work to get a not so easy to get through guy when he had options, and now we have the. I thought we were done seeing these Charlie Foxtrots this season.
No.
Uh-oh. Oh. Pouring rain. But now the ball's over there, and all his guys are tied up except for this one flesh golem, so kudos to Malal's Mashers for seeing that. Yeah,
that's a good move. I mean, really when it comes down to it, meh. I think that that's a benefit. Once you get everybody tied up, sometimes just hucking the ball is an okay thing to do, and especially when you have an overmatched side.
And there's that overcommit that we talk about right there. It's like you almost got it, and then you decided to do the super risky dodge and go for it and all this crap instead of just marking the ball. And
you know the concern. Oh, keep going. Sorry.
No, and it's kind of what we've been talking about back to the original point all season is Malal's Mashers saw that there was nobody moving, just went out and started a new drive. All right, we're gonna go over here now. You guys have fun beating on each other.
So that was exactly what I was gonna bring. The pickup with the pouring rain is a thing. So I was gonna say he has to focus on covering the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And making this a good play, because there's no reason why he can't set up everybody else first and then go for the pickup. To be fair, it doesn't help the pickup, but it helps what happens if you don't make the pickup.
Exactly.
You know, what happens when it doesn't go right.
A lot of zombies eating up on those Chaos Warriors.
Just chew through them.
So time exceeded.
End of match imminent.
So the Beastman still has a chance to pick up. Malal's Masher's having a real tough... Oh, not the guy that I would have picked up the ball with.
Well, the other guy was unlucky, so fuck him. You get one chance per game.
I would have got... Obviously, the other guy was the choice, because then you get him... you get away from all these guys a lot farther. And then line it up against the line right there. Man... I was going to say that Malal's Master's playing so well, but just having critically failed rolls at the worst times, and then he goes and does that, which, that's so frustrating to see somebody play so well and then just make like 2 or 3 mistakes that ends a drive.
Yeah, and there's one thing between, you know, making a mistake versus, you know, making a poor decision, and that was more like you can make a mistake and kind of, you know, I should have done that instead. You know, it was a little bit of a risk factor, but that was one of those things where you use the wrong guy from the get.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I don't know what the intention on that was, but that's tough.
Yeah, and then at this point with no rerolls, it's kind of monkeys fucking a football.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is the time to go for a Hail Mary.
Yeah, nobody was playing deep, so...
Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
Not a single player deep on either side, so touchdown not imminent. Interesting that he blitzed and then... What did I just watch?
Did you hit rewind?
No! Why'd you go?
He had to dodge out of that.
Yeah, why did he go? Why did he go for that ball?
I don't know.
Oh. Okay. Let's start with Malal's Masher. That's gonna be a pretty quick one.
Okay.
I really think your only issue for this game was that you got frustrated and you stopped thinking. I really think that's what that last where that last drive that was looking gold for you, making all the right choices, really bad rolls were setting you off, and then you got frustrated and you stopped thinking.
Yeah, and that was that one.
It was
I guess 2 moves, right?
Yeah, the wrong choice of player.
Well, let's back it up before that. Is that throw, that switch side of the pitch wasn't too bad.
That was good.
And then you had an opportunity to at least set up your players, but you went for the pickup first turn and failed. So that's, I think, where it started. And then you used the wrong guy for the next pickup, and
then lining him up
didn't have the
movement
movement allowance, and that was and then sitting on the sidelines a bad idea. But I think that not utilizing the movement allowance of your players was the thing. I can see using the guy with less movement allowance if you intend to use the guy with more movement allowance to build that cage. Like, you're going to use that extra movement allowance to set him ahead and off to the side. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. But I think that was it. That was the portion of the game that we can highlight on as negative. Everything else was pretty good.
Yeah, and I think another issue is that you haven't figured out the little key of sometimes you don't have enough players to make a cage, so you have to figure out where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck, on how many, can I get an assist at every angle of the attack?
Right.
And you didn't do that with that guy. Had you put the guy one space back, where you still had your guy on the sideline, and then you had him directly adjacent to him, there's no way they could have hit him on a blitz without him getting the assist, and they didn't have the straight attack on you, so they couldn't have pushed you off the pitch. Granted, had he had the players to fill gaps, it could have happened, but he didn't have the players to fill gaps. So even with the move that you would have chosen, had you just gone one space back, that might have been a touchdown.
I agree with you. It would have had a chance of being a touchdown instead of, I think that you shut yourself out of that one.
Yep. And then for the Necromantic, man, I think you get the idea for the werewolves on your team, and they're kind of like the star players for you, doing a lot of crazy stuff. But I don't think you're using them realistically. And I think that's your biggest issue, is that you're burning a lot of rerolls on these hoopty crazy moves, but because you only have 3 rerolls, you only get about maybe 1 or 2 hoopty crazy moves every drive. So you need to start focusing, maybe go back through the rule book a little bit, maybe talk to somebody who has read the rule book thoroughly, and figure out your roles. Now, if it's just you saying, fuck it, it's the end of the season, I'm just going to do what feels good, and I'm not going to play this team next season anyway, so I don't care if he gets hurt, that's cool, I guess. That's your prerogative. It's the end of the season, but I don't know. The team's good. You're a good coach. I've seen you play a lot better with less, and I just want to see more out of you. But I think you're capable of it.
Yeah, I think that it started off a little rocky because I didn't personally see the necessity of that throw in the beginning, and a throw in the rain in general is going to be, I don't know if I plan on it failing, but I don't bank on it landing, if you know what I mean. I don't think that it was necessary to advance the ball at that point in the match. You know, just straight having to make that new. I think the risk of dropping the ball and then having to pick it up again was enough to just hold the ball and turn that into at least a bit of a running drive until you could have gotten somebody free, and then maybe made a decision. But when it comes down to, and I think that's what I'm going to focus on, is that initial bit. I think that's kind of where, like you said, you're like, I think I see where this game is going to go, and it kind of went that way.
It was a symbol for the mentality of the coach when your first play is behind your own lines to do a 2-yard pass in the rain.
Right, and that's, I don't know if you're just greedy for star player points, but those aren't the conditions where you want to be making rolls like that. And I'll just leave it like that and say those are the kind of things you want to focus on doing better next time.
Yeah, sorry if we sound harsh or like dicks, but again, we're here to entertain, but we're also here to try to help. So we're just doing our best to say what we feel you need. If you don't feel that's the case, then by all means, do what you need to do. As long as you're having fun, that's all we give a shit about, right?
Air power.
Yep. All right. Again, we will see you in week 9. Thanks for playing. See you next time.
Later.